Olá, welcome to the Innovation for the Future Crowd Circle. Today it's me and Thierry. Welcome, Thierry. My proposal is for us to go for a check-in. Do you want to start?
Yeah, good. I feel a bit like I'm washed on a shore on a new beach, and so I'm happy, but I'm a bit slow. And this morning I had to think. I'll share it later. This is this nice movie for kids, Croods, that they also ended up in paradise after all these kind of crazy adventures. So I wish that for all of us. So that's me for today.
Thank you, Thierry. I'm looking to outside. I'm seeing that it's very cloud. Maybe we'll start raining in a few minutes or hours. I don't know. And I'm like inside. I'm more or less in that same mood. I wake up with sadness in my system and resistance to wake up and start movement. The night was, I slept all night, but it was a night that I wake up with the sensation that I didn't rest. What is in my system? It's that I'm living death of things that are dying in my life and creating space, and I'm living that. And yes, it's like I think I could say more about that. It's like the work that I'm doing with Gilles. It's something is shifting there. That something is dying, and I don't know what will come after that. It's like a sadness of the work that we've done in the last year and a half, and at the same time the fear of not knowing what will happen, what kind of stuff will unfold. That is one of the things. Yeah, maybe the main thing. I'm also noticing around this Innovation for the Future circle that I'm losing energy. This is not working anymore for me, this circle. I'm getting out sad and angry sometimes, and I'm seeing that in the last month I only have been in one circle. That is informing me that this circle is not working for me anymore also, and I'm feeling also that dying in me. Yeah, it seems like Easter time is making the things are dying, and maybe I'm creating space for what is coming next. I also living with fear because I have money to pay the bills until June, and after that I don't have new incomes, and I'm starting conversations around that. What can I do to make new income in the next weeks? And I'm with that fear also in my system. And then my joy is with I had a very good breakfast today. I experiment a new thing, and it ran well. And I'm seeing that I like this configuration between peanuts, banana and cacao, and I did something today with that,
I
and
love that.
it really worked, and I'm glad about that. Also, I will be with my partner this weekend. She's arriving today, and that is bring me a lot of energy and joy. It will be mostly a working weekend for both of us, but being together, it's a nice thing for me, and I'm really appreciating that. Yeah, I'm also noticing that I'm slower. My inner rhythm is slower. And one of the things that happened this weekend that is bringing me a lot of joy, and I was taking care of that before our circle, is it's the work with the Foundation Terra Agora. I accept to be the new CEO of the foundation after the government approval. Yes, the foundation, it's mainly a voluntary project. And I accept to be the CEO after the approval, and I'm glad and with fear about that. And I'm starting engaging and working with the staff. And there is this possible guardian that is trying to buy land in Portugal. Like he wants to build a big forest, maybe a retreat center for meditation. Like it could be something like Muji or something around that. And I'm seeing the joy of supporting that and helping that, and in myself this last week that happened. Also the recordings of the Innovation for the Future game world builders bring me a lot of joy. And this last I really enjoy all the interviews, and I don't know why, but this last ones, this maybe 2, 3, 4, the last really open my heart and touch me in so many levels. Seeing the work and what is being done with people in the last 10 years, it's really amazing. And for me, it's like a celebration of these beings and the work that with capital W, like Otto Schammer say, that the purpose that we have in this life, the big work that we are doing in this life, to see that in people, to see that radiating in people, it's really beautiful. For me, it's what is about the Innovations for the Future game world builder interviews. And I'm really loving doing that and seeing what people are doing. Yeah, it's really touched me, this interviews. Yeah, it's me arriving. This week, Innovations for the Future have been a lot in my mind and my thoughts, and also in my system, my system. And one of the main reasons was these interviews with people. Like someone told me, give me a feedback that really touched me. Like, I know from our conversations that you have been doing great conversations all over this country and with so many people. Yeah, I know that are good conversations because I have the experience of doing the conversation with you. And now with these recordings, I can be sitting next to you and seeing you have these conversations with other people. like the ones that we have with me. Now I'm seeing you having with me. And that was so touching to have this feedback from that person. And yeah, I never thought from that perspective. It really touched me. And it's me arriving and going with it. I'm noticing that I start my check-in with the sadness and the fear, and I'm ending with the joy and the energy in my body as I start talking about the interviews and connecting with people and listening from their being and from the work that being is doing in the world. Yeah, it's really changing something in me, and it's me arriving. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's also pretty much what kind of a crisis, which is also opportunity, is about. Like it's not that in one moment the doors to the new world open and then everything is good. It's kind of a struggle. And listening to your joy parts, I realize, and also the other part, I realize also, with me, there are some things that, for instance, what gives me sadness is that the like around here, basically, I'm living like a monk, and I don't have any connection with the other people living here. And the thing I thought I could start doing something with this Dutch community. I mean, it just doesn't really happen. Last time I wanted to go to a meeting, the bus didn't arrive. So I had it before, but then I could see that like it was a holiday or something, that the schedule was different. But this time, I looked 3 times at the schedule, and I mean, it was just not meant to be. And it gives me a bit of sadness. But in the end, the conclusion I created out of it is that and probably that's just one of my next steps. I'm going to a retreat center in Montchique in the month of June. I've been there last year too, and then I brought this World Peace Flame Lamp, and then I already had the feeling, oh, maybe I should go there sometime. So it didn't happen. So somehow that I'm going to the whole month of June, and it feels good, to just go deeper and sit. My biggest inspiration at the moment is I have this drone, so I make all the higher perspective videos, which I totally love, and it's also offering to the community. I will send it in the Telegram group. That it creates a totally new perspective if you have a piece of land and you fly around with this drone, so that I can help people with say land observation and things like that. So in the end, sometimes the stuff that I don't like just pushes me to something new, and I think that's all what's life about. Oh.
Thank you, Thierry. Yeah, what I'm noticing is this sadness in me because of the circle. I'm noticing that I'm not available to hold the space for the circle anymore. And at the same time, I'm sad about that. And it brings me joy also to had this experience. I started in November with this season. And it's 6 months. Yeah, it's 6 months. We did more than 20 circles. And I have the guess that we did around 20 people saw the recordings in average. Maybe the last view is 2 or 3, and the most view, it's around 40, between 40 and 50. 40 or 50. And we cover so much here in these circles. From, yeah, a lot, from shadow, from the isolation thing, from accepting what is on the field, for the from the division between people that came abroad and people that born here, the desertification, people not connecting. And I really enjoyed the circle with Rob around what brings us together as a community, what really engages in being, has that sense of belonging. We cover so much. I think that the average here in the online circle was around 3 persons, maybe circles with 1 for sure. I had been, you have been in circles for 1. And I think it's 5, the maximum, or 6 that we had, an average of 3. It really was a space for me, as I'm reflecting, that it was really as a space for me of reflecting about innovations for the future, and what is my role in the innovations for the future, and how innovations for the future is in me, is inside me. And I think that was the main goal that I had during this conversation. And it also touched me that people didn't come to the circle, but they saw the recording. That was something completely different that I had experienced until now. Like, there is something in the air. I don't know how to explain this, but people don't come here, but they listen to the recording. There is something here. Yeah, I don't have a story or stories around that, but I'm noticing that is it also start to being lower and lower. The most view are in the first 10, and the second 10, it's getting lower. It's like people are lost in the interest or something, or we didn't engage in subjects that are relevant for the people or something. I don't know. But I'm sitting with that. I'm seeing that I'm celebrating, that I'm more in the mood of celebrating what happened and what really happened. And I also want to question, Thierry, if you want to be the space holder of this space, what is alive in you? If you are feeling that the space is dying, if you are willing to hold the space, what is also in you in this circle today? When you listen to me talking about this, where are you? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I feel like I see like the flow. I still have some time to take beautiful videos of around here, and then I'm going to retreat center, and practically, I could hold the space, but I think somehow that's also what I felt last week. It's more kind of a meditation, and then that's why I go there, of course. And some time ago, I read a suggestion of one of the teachers I follow. It's basically, don't look for these right people. They will come to you. So maybe it's, if you feel that too, it's kind of the right moment to just let go for a bit. I've done it many times, especially when I got fed up that nothing happened. I just jumped on my bike, went to one of my sacred spaces. I've made these medicine wheels, and I write the name of the project or something on a piece of paper. I make a fire. I throw everything in the fire. Say, okay, God, I just give it back. And if something wants to happen, you have to tell me. And then often, then the next day or some days later, something happened, which just inspired me to continue. And it's good to just just let go. Maybe to strengthen this, like this week, I had a very interesting experience. Early in the morning, I jumped on my bike to make some videos of the Seis River close to Aljezur, and I knew I had an appointment for a haircut later on at 11 o'clock. So at some stage, I was just making my little videos and pictures, and I found this nice spot to see the river. Then I saw the time, so I knew I slowly had to go. Then what happened is that I have this e-bike, and somehow it doesn't work all the time. So at that moment, it started to have problems, and I knew I had to get up this steep hill on the other side, and I got really frustrated. And then every time I pushed the button on and off, I got the battery out, irritated. And then somehow a voice in me said, relax. When you'll need it, it will work. So without battery, I cycled along the river, which was quite okay. And then actually, I stopped when I was down at the river in Aljezur, and I said, it should work. And the first little bit was not too steep; it didn't work. But then afterwards, I stepped off and said, okay, now you have to do it, and I will be really happy. And the thing went the whole way steep up the hill without any problem. And I arrived 5 minutes before 11. I could change my shirt, and within 10 minutes I had a dentist a haircut, and actually it was 11:11 that she was finished. So maybe that's kind of a summary. We all have this kind of stubborn ego trying to push the river, trying to speed up evolution. I mean, it just doesn't work. We have to, maybe next time I fail again, but then probably, hopefully, I get another reminder just to relax, to enjoy.
Yeah, I'm here from you that you have enough for now to be the space holder of this space, and you are also feeling that maybe it's time to let go and see what happens.
Yeah, for me, kind of the natural flow would be to deepen, and if it, I will be fully available for say until 1st of June to just sit and also, I just I put a candle on, and then on behalf of the community, and if it turns out that another time is better, I'm happy to do that, because I feel somehow it's also kind of this time when it's really insecure. We're kind of on this tipping point, and then the only way you can find the next part of your journey is to go deeper, to be silent. I think we've shared a lot, and throughout this deeper silence, it gets roots also.
Yeah, thank you. Your sharing brought me to an experience that I lived yesterday with Dani. Dani was one of the next interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Maria Danielle, and
she works for the
Presink Institute, yes. And we had a conversation around TU, and will be one of the following innovations for the future game world builder interviews. And she also talked about the presence and the bottom of the U, and what as one of the things that really touch her in the U theory, and how she cultivate that place. In her case, is using heartfulness as a practice for tuning with the source. You know, your sharing take me to this conversation with Danny, and yeah, maybe it's time to do that, to really let the source speak in a way, to sit with what is, and see what will unfold in this context.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe also listening to your sharing, and also what I learned before previous times. You are pretty much the initiator of this whole network, and I've seen it when I created one of those networks after the banking crisis. You know, everybody was looking at me, and some people, you know, within quite short time, I had a whole network site, like with a few hundred people on it, and then people wanted to make an appointment with me. And one thing I found out, that a lot of those people, just for them it wasn't just another network, and they were looking for a job or a project or something. So that's why they thought, okay, we make an appointment with the boss, and then maybe we get a project. And then every time I'm just a simple guy, and somehow, you know, I came from the background of co-creation, so you know, I have a little piece of the puzzle, and I have a talent, and I'm just looking for people around in the circle. But apparently, for other people, it worked differently. They thought about they talked about co-creation, but they were still looking for a boss to give them a job. So I think that's also kind of dynamics that happen in any network. And the only solution I could find, just to run back to my meditation cushion and do my inner work. And then somehow I managed through it. But that whole period, actually, until the end of 2012, it was really kind of a struggle. That all the time, you know, I was having these circles, and people were just kind of fighting a bit with each other, and it's quite difficult to really get to this space where we can all just relax and be with each other. And maybe the best way is just to shut our mouth and then just sit in the meditation seat.
Yeah, I resonate with that. For me, it's really time to let go and stay in silence and see what happens around this circle thing. And maybe, I don't know, people will start saying something in a way. The universe will give feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually what I following up on that, I'm going to see if that will happen. I thought about it for the end of March to do some kind of I call it the peace, world peace meditation, but basically it's about connecting with us. And then it didn't happen. And maybe I can do it. Will be probably very simple and small in the summer equinox, you call it, like the 21st of June. And what I would really like to see is if we can do something the 21st of September. And first, you know, I always had this idea of to bring people to my space. But this week I was thinking, you know, the only thing we have to do is kind of one moment of synchronizing. And that might be also an opportunity for innovation for the future. If there's a possibility of people coming together, that's great. But maybe first time it's easier also to have just few moments to synchronize. And traditionally, like these kind of tipping points, like the 21st of June, 21st of September, you go into a new season. They're good periods for that. So maybe that could be something to hold in space and see if that resonates with other people, because there is a sense we feel connection and we want to strengthen that.
It take me to tomorrow. It's Earth Day, 22 of April. And usually there is in Portugal. I don't know if they will do this year. Fazedores da Mudança is an association. They had this national action around meditation for the heart in the Heart Day. I don't know if they will do tomorrow. And also the people from how to say that, educate peace, UNIS Cátedra for Peace, Education and Sustainability in the Universidade de Lisboa. They organized a day for meditation around peace. Also, Paul Borges do that, and maybe that could be also a team for the community to be together and meditating around that.
Yeah, you know, some people are more into it's kind of a balance, more inner work and less of the outer work, and other people are the other way around. Yeah. But I think what for me it's really important, I've seen over the years, that people who have some kind of mindfulness practice, I mean, I can work with them easier. Otherwise, especially in this kind of work of creating something for the planet, there's just too much mind stuff, and then you always run into trouble with like all kind of emotions and whatever.
Yeah, it's like Otto said, the inner place where the action came from, it's a completely different place.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, you know, looking into the back mirror, what I've done the last 3 years, you know, after 2020, 21, I was really inspired, and then we connected, and I saw, you know, after this ULAB tour I did in 2021, nothing wanted to happen. So then I thought, okay, go do a vision quest of 2 weeks. And 4 months later, I was still sitting there in the same spot. and that's basically how I ended up here. And here, you know, I'm really so happy I'm sitting in paradise. I took this when you were talking before. I took this bowl of peace. In November or December, I planted some peas and favas, and especially this peas, they do really good. I mean, this is the stuff that dried out, so I'm just taking them as seeds for next year, and I think this is, I mean, I bought a kilo. This is much more. It's already, I think, 1.5 or 2 kilos, and I had so much, you know, half of my fridge is full of it. of the piece. I'm giving some bags away to people. So that's also kind of the, little kind of prototypes, which gives me a trust in life and trust in the universe. I mean, you had different fruits, like for half a year I had apples here, and now for 3 or 4 months I had the nesperas, and it goes on, and a lot of herbs that I'm doing stuff with. These are kind of little prototypes. That's what I realize I've been doing this year, especially, that I'm going to build a new story. Because before, it was just book stuff, but now I really experience it with this nature. And okay, the Favas didn't do that well, but then the owner said, I don't know, some year the Favas do better, other year the other stuff does better. But it just gives me kind of a feeling of abundance.
Yeah. You're talking, you're checking about a children movie that's called The Cruise.
Yeah.
Yes, I in João Sem Medo, I had a entrepreneurship program that's for evolutionary entrepreneurship. It's called the Playground of the Evolutionary Entrepreneurs, and I used several children movies in my workshops, and one of them was for Cruz. I used How to Train Your Dragon. I used the Panda Kung Fu. I also used the Cruz and also another one that's called the Origem dos Guardiões, the Origin of Guardians. They are also movies from, all of them are from DreamWorks. It was the good period of DreamWorks animation.
Yeah.
Because really, they have a really touching and amazing movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I used them. It brought me a memory of joy of using that movies in that setting, in that context. And more than 100 people did the program. It was a 12 seasons, 12 sections. Yes. Mm-hmm. Program doing around two months.
Okay.
It was some intense and mind expanding thing. Around human development, entrepreneurship, and collaboration and participatory leadership.
You were talking before that you had some struggle with this program for youth, and that afterwards you started being asked more for these doing things in schools, and it just reminds me of a guy I know in Holland. He did this program also years ago. It was around 2010 of children creating their future, and what he did was also like he had some days with children and adult people, and we really loved this program, and somehow we couldn't get it happening in the town that we were working. But what I learned from that is also, we as grown-ups, we are so bloody serious, and I can just see when I'm in this space of the innocent kid again, innocent child, things start to flow. When I go to Holland, I can check with this guy, but it doesn't depend on him. But I'm thinking that maybe that can be a very beautiful thing to see if we can get something happening. I heard from one of the people in Tamera that last summer they went with a whole group here, also children. You know, they have a lot of children there, to this property of the what's his name? You know him. He set up Margem.
Diogo?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has some property close to the beach.
Yes, Diogo Ruivo in Aljezur, yeah.
The kids can give us kind of the lightness, and you know, for us it's just okay. If we do a good job, we leave this earth that it's still livable. But for the children, it's okay. They have to create the 21st century. I mean, I'm probably gone by 2050 or so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly how much time I have left, but so I feel that there's also some lightness and something that wants to be born. I saw it with the child of the owner here. I mean, the little boy of 11, he also got 3 weeks that he didn't want to go to school, and he's highly sensitive. I think somehow, you know, you have 3 children, that could be a really interesting one to explore.
In that animation thing that you talked about, I saw a movie. I'm researching here to see, because I don't remember the name.
The Croods.
No, I saw a recent movie from Disney. That is the first movie. I don't remember the name of the movie. Trying to find. That is the first movie that I saw with the idea of life system thinking and legacy thinking, like creating these stories around how to design a future that has life at the center, and the legacy as something that you deliver for the next generation. And it's the first movie that I saw around that. I'm trying to find the name. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. And it's really interesting to see. The movie has a very interesting story, and it's the first movie that I saw in that context.
Yeah.
I'm not finding the movie.
Yeah, no, it will come to us.
I think it's Monster something. I don't know. I don't remember. And I really enjoy to see that. I saw that with my children. I think it's one of the last ones of Disney. I'm trying to find here in the internet, but I'm not finding. Maybe I'm researching with the wrong keywords. It's not a well-known. It's not a well-known movie. I don't know why. It's the name. It's Strange Wall.
Okay.
It's a 2022 movie.
Yeah.
It's also for kids. It's a Strange Wall, and it's the first movie that I saw with this thing of life system thinking and legacy thinking.
Okay. Yeah.
That is a core.
Yeah, you know that these are also things that are quite subtle, because kind of this legacy thinking. I mean, you can also do that from a space of guilt. And then it just doesn't work. So it requires some kind of maturity in yourself to deal with these things, and also to share it. I mean, if you share it out of your own kind of pain body, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'll check. It's a strange world, you said?
Yeah, strange world. Yes. For me, we can go for a checkout, Thierry.
Yeah.
We can do the last sharing and also as a checkout thing. I'm glad with this circle. In a way, it's putting the things on the table and as clear as possible, as transparent as possible for all the community. This is a circle. Means a leader in each chair. Each one of us has this ability to engage in action and stop action. And I'm glad with that, of bringing myself and notice what is happening in me and the loss of energy. I'm glad to put that on the table. And I'm really glad with the work that we did, mainly together, but also with others that came to the circle in the last 6 months with this new season. And I'm using my sadness to do a let go and surrender and start silence period and see what will come in the next weeks, month. And I'm glad to have, it's a completely different thing from the others. We did, from the others, we didn't have any recording, or we have just a few of the recordings. One recording from the first season and maybe 1 or 2 recordings for the second season. And I'm glad to have all the recordings of this season. That is a thing that changed. And in a way, the field is alive in this recording. Like we have something there that people could connect and see from their perspective. They can start a dialogue with our perspective, and that seems a completely different thing for this third season. And I'm glad to have this experience. I'm noticing the question of this, how to start a movement without pushing, like the gentle way of gardening, the gentle way of building a garden, being, how to do that. And I have a story, a little story. One of these days, we are passing by car in a place near a forest here, Monsanto, and we notice, my partner noticed a field of flowers. And we stopped the car and went to the field of flowers. And that was a very amazing place and beautiful place. And that gardener, it's all with wild flowers. Nobody planted, nobody take care. It was just what is alive that, and was really beautiful with a lot of trees and grass and flowers and stuff. And it goes down to a valley, and it was an improbable place to find that beauty. Like, and that in a way, it's a story. I'm seeing that gardener. When I look to this movement, and in Portugal, I'm seeing this garden, this place with a lot of flowers that are coming over and over. And I will stay with that beauty. I will stay with that beauty in that saying. Até já in this circle. And it's me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just last few days I was working on a short video of this Sage river, and I will share it in the group because it's exactly like that. It's really kind of a meditative journey, like a morning flight over the river, and also with these beautiful fields of flowers. So I'm sure you will love that. When you were checking out, I was just feeling into okay, how to move on. Of course, you can just say it was my first idea to say okay, for now, you know, we just open the space and we go back into the forest or the beach to see what next. And then I was just reminded of the Daily Tao. It's always so good. And he says, Lao Tzu says, where the mystery is, the deepest is the gate of all that is subtle and wonderful. So maybe we should just like us, we don't even have to give anybody a message. Maybe you can say, okay, we're circles are closed for now. But just be for the moment. And then really just be mindful and see what wants to happen. And also in us, of course.
Thank you, Thierry. E até já.
And I will share the video with you.
Please do that.
Ready?